Hey everybody, you are watching CAD Roll Hunter, and I've got a big stack of old bills to go through, including some that might have some fancy serial numbers. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel CAD Roll Hunter. And a little while ago I had a chance to buy a big lot of old coins, and it included this big stack in this envelope of paper money. And you can see already there's some older stuff. This one here is over 120 years old, a Canadian shin plaster. Behind it, we can see a 1954 replacement series note, an asterisk note, similar to the American star notes, if you're familiar with those. But there are also uncirculated notes. There's some foreign things in here, and there's even a novelty note from the 70s. So I'm going to pull these out of here, and we're going to get a chance to look together and see if we got some interesting stuff. I'm super excited about this because there are a lot of bills. You can see how big that stack is in there. All right, I've pulled the big stack of bills out of the envelope, but I thought we might take a look at this novelty note first. You'll see this is a Canada 86-cent note from 1978. It features Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau, Prime Minister at that time. It's 86 cents because this is really taking a shot at the government's challenges in the day of tackling inflation. So the commentary here is that we're losing our purchasing power. The Canadian dollar is only worth 86 cents. I've seen different versions of this with a similar theme. It's not unlike what we're experiencing today, of course, with inflation, and Pierre Trudeau's son, Justin Trudeau, is now the Prime Minister of Canada. So a lot of parallels between today and when this bill was produced. A couple of other things on here. You'll see it says the Trudeau Fuddlebuck. And at one point in time, Pierre Elliott Trudeau was caught on film uttering the F word. He dropped an F-bomb. He sure did. When asked about it, he said that all he said was fuddle-duddle. So it became a bit of a meme if there were memes in the 70s. In any case, this is a Trudeau Fuddlebuck from the mid-70s. And you'll see at the back here, it says Canadian Unity, showing people in the unemployment insurance lineup. Pretty interesting. So that's cool. A little piece of Canadian history. I think this probably has some value for collectors, but it's a neat thing anyhow. Well, I'm already excited by what I see here. What you can see, of course, at the top is this Canadian 25-cent note, a shin plaster. This is from 1900. It features the signature of Beauville, and it's actually in pretty remarkable shape. They're often in much worse shape than this one. I'll flip it over. It's got some creases and lines, as you would expect in a bill that's over 120 years old. You can see at some point somebody's marked $2.75 on this little flip, but it's certainly worth a fair bit more than that today. This is a really good pickup. And right behind it, I'm very excited because check this out. This is a 1954 series Canadian $1 bill. It's the modified series. So if you've watched my channel, you might be aware that there was an issue with the Queen's hair. It was just a faithful reproduction of the photograph that this engraving was based on, but it made it look like there was the face of the devil in the hair. They had to modify it, hence the name modified portrait, where they softened the lines and removed that. But this is an asterisk note. That asterisk before the serial number tells us that it's a replacement note. So somewhere in the process of printing the bills, there was an issue and some notes were destroyed. And so this is a replacement note. And the one right behind it is as well a different series. This is a B over M at the front. This other one, not quite in as good condition, an asterisk A over A. But both very cool. They both feature the Beatty-Razminsky signature combination. So these are really, really cool. And they have some collectible value. These are harder to come by, these asterisk notes. I'm going to pull out my Charlton catalog, and if we can see some more information on these two bills. Now I'm using a somewhat older version of the Charlton catalog. This is the 2019, but you'll get the idea here. You can see the serial numbers with the asterisks here are quite a bit more valuable, perhaps, than the regular circulation notes. And the A over A that we have here is a pretty small print run. It's 376,000, and even in a VG, it's a $6 note. So there's some value in this. It's a bit rougher, but it's better than a VG, I would say. The B over M is a different series, and it's a different printer. It's the British American Banknote Company, and it's pretty common. It's a 3.7 million print run for that, so it doesn't have a significantly great value necessarily, but still more so than the regular circulating notes. So that is really, really cool that we got a couple of those to add to my collection. Next up, there were 15 1967 series bills. These all feature B.D. Razminsky. None of these have a serial number. They were just serialized with this 1867 to 1967. This is the Centennial of Confederation, as it says right at the top of the note. This one on the top is probably the nicest. These are all very crisp. Some have a few little creases, but you'll see that some of these have some staining on the corner. So they're actually in pretty good, almost uncirculated condition, but they were stored somewhere where they must have gotten wet. Really unfortunate. They don't have much value because of that beyond face value, but perhaps maybe this top one does, but these are still nice old bills to add to the collection. Stored with them were a couple of other 1967s. These ones have serial numbers. It's the L over O, and this is 2 sequential notes. So these would be uncirculated bills, but again, they were stored with those bills, and look at the staining on the corner. That's really, really unfortunate. The L over O series, I think, is a pretty common one, but we can check the Charlton Guide just to be sure. Well, we can actually see that the L over O is actually a bit lower than all the other print runs. Doesn't really fetch significant greater value at all, maybe in a gem uncirculated, worth a bit more than some of the others. But because of the damage it's got, it's not really going to fetch that. It really would have been probably in an uncirculated condition, but those stains really bring the value down for sure. So there are 3 foreign notes in here, and this is actually pretty exciting, I think, because check this out. These are 2 1976 $2 bills from the United States, but we've got a birthday note. Check it out. 1963-02-17. So anybody born in 1963, February the 17th, this is a birthday note. If that's you, let me know in the comments. That's really, really cool. I don't think I've actually found a good, true birthday note, but this is one for sure. This one here doesn't look like anything fancy necessarily, but it's a very nice, crisp $2 bill. I think it's easy to find these in fairly uncirculated condition because people held on to these. These were a bicentennial commemorative. There is the signing of the Declaration of Independence, 1776. That's really cool. And this one here, this $1 from the Bahamas, I know that these are fetching quite a premium. This one's got a couple spots on it. It's got some creases, but certainly since the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, these have been highly sought after. And check out the color on these bills. These are pretty coveted by collectors because they are very, very colorful bills. Look at that. That is a beautiful one for sure. Rounding out the bills, we got a bunch of 1973 series $1 bills here, as well as some 1986 $2 bills. The $1 bills, we did get some that were in a pretty nice, mostly uncirculated condition. We got some pretty trashy ones over here, and we got a couple that have the 2-letter prefix, as well as some that have the 3-letter prefix. These are the older ones, Lawson Bowie. These are newer Crow Bowie ones. None of them are rare by their serial number. And what we got over here with the $2 bills, though, we got some consecutive runs. We got a series of 5 bills from 438 to 442, and that's in the EGL. We got the CBH 54, and 55. We got EGN 82 and 83, and a couple individual bills that are all in pristine, beautiful shape. So we got lots of really cool stuff. A few I think that have some particular value and are very interesting, specifically those asterisk replacement notes. I think this really beautiful $1 Bahamas bill, very colorful, is an awesome find for sure. And these are becoming more and more sought after. And the birthday note, this is the first time I think I found a real birthday note. February 17, 1963. Once again, if that's you, let me know because I've got your birthday note. That's pretty cool. And we got something that is pretty old, over 120 years old, which is really cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed having a peek at some Canadian paper money. I can never pass up the opportunity to pick up a lot of old paper money. You just never know what's going to be in there if you're going to get some that are in really nice condition. something that's a little bit unusual and something unexpected. You never know. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, CAD Roll Hunter. Go ahead and do that. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it's a great way to support the channel. And give this video a thumbs up. Give it a like. I'd also appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.